Chapter 10 Missing Weed. While on a weekend retreat with my little family at the time, I learned a well needed lesson. It wasn't a weekend retreat in the traditional uses of the word, rather, one of those times that it was hot and I wanted to get away from everyone as I often did. I chose to go to a hotel with a big pool that was a long ass way from the hood, and to me, I couldn't have thought of a better place. What I meant by my little family consisted of my girl, her daughter, and myself. I was claim jumping like a motherfucker to the fullest. I don't have any qualms about stepping up to the plate when it was needed. When we left, I told her not to take anything because my plans were to buy new everything when we got there. That's what I did, and we, at least they did, had a ball. The next day, the whole dynamic and purpose of us getting away changed when I agreed to let her sister come to where we were. Somehow it ended up being a family affair on her end, with cousins, aunts, friends, and etc. At first I was upset, but it was one of those things of making it work to make it work. The weed that I brought with me was damn near gone, and I knew what I had was not going to last 3 days. By that being the case, I had to leave, and after I told her what was up, I was gone. Because I didn't have to go anywhere to buy anything, my destination was to my girl's house where my other staff was waiting on me, or so I thought. There was no need for me to knock on the door because I was given the keys before I left the hotel. After entering the house, straight to the bedroom I went, and what I saw, my eyes didn't agree with. My girl had a friend whose name is Lakeith, and for a few days, every now and then, she'd stay over at her house. Actually, at this time, I'd been over there for about 2 weeks, so I already knew that most likely whenever she showed up, I could expect to see her sleeping on the couch for at least 2 days. If it was one thing that I didn't like about her, it would have had to been the fact that a lot of days that she'd be in the bedroom with her homegirl when I would get back and want to chill. Other than that, she was straight. Truthfully, it wasn't her per se that I didn't like, but instead that one character trait. This was the case when I returned to get my stash from under the bed that wasn't there when I looked. At a very inopportune time, this woman was sitting on the floor smoking a blunt. I could have sworn she claimed to not smoke weed, but I could be wrong. And she was talking on the phone. As I looked at her blowing smoke out of her mouth, could nothing in the world make me believe that she didn't take my stuff. I didn't have to look again because I could see that the box was empty as it was turned on its side under the bed. Without saying anything to her, I left back out ignoring whatever it was that she was saying or trying to say. Before going back to the hotel, I had to buy another ounce of weed because what I had was already stolen from me. More than an hour later, when I returned to the hotel, I saw my sister and my homie in the room. I left my phone in the room, so it's no secret as to how my sister found out where I was. And lo and behold, here she was in the bed playing with the baby with my homie. Clicked together two Hennessy bottles, one empty and the other full. It further tripped me out because I purposely hadn't called them because my intentions were to truly get away from everybody. I put the blunts and weed on the dresser so that G could help himself to it, and he didn't waste any time doing so. When the room started filling with our peeps, I told my girl we had to talk, and then we headed down to the pool. While walking down the hall, she said something that I wasn't expecting. I called home to see if you made it there yet, and Lakeith said you came in like something was wrong and that you didn't speak to her. When you got there, that was me who she was talking to on the phone because she let me know when you walked in. Oh, I almost forgot. When you were leaving, she said you was looking at her like you had a problem with her. I heard her trying to talk to you and assumed that you were ignoring her. For what? I don't know. What was all that about? That bitch stole my weed, and this what you got to say? I don't got shit to say to her. That's your girl, not mine. How you know? I couldn't believe that shit. Here it was my girl questioning me. Well, rather checking me about some shit I told her about when she knew damn well I didn't have a reason to lie. I just know, and she always in the room. Her ass was just complaining about being broke, and just so happened she had a big ass blunt hanging from her mouth. You know what? We'll get back to this when we get home. This incident, experience, and or memorable event opened my eyes to something that I realized months after it happened. It was when I quit being mad at the woman who may or may not have stolen the weed. Off bail, my pompous and self-grandiose and arrogant attitude brought it upon myself. I knew damn well that many different people could have went in that room when we weren't there, and that's why I had an inner battle as if I should have taken the weed with me in the first place. I was major, and would nobody take shit from me. Yeah, I was that far gone with my thinking. With that, I left high as hell. My first mistake. By not making a decision was made because the shoebox was under the bed with the weed still in it. I didn't see it like that though. By not choosing one thing, I ultimately chose another. In my case, since I didn't take my product with me, I inadvertently chose to leave it in a place where it had a high probability of being messed with. From the theft of my weed, I gained intel that I would have paid a lot of money for. Whatever choice we make in life, especially when it isn't influenced by a source outside of ourselves, we have to live with it with no regrets no matter what the outcome may be. Decisions are a part of life and have to be made, whether they're good or bad. A lot of times, people aren't going to agree with your choice or choices you make. Keep in mind, that is your life that you are living and no one else's. So all consequences and rewards due to your choices are yours alone, most of the time anyway.